Hey guys, this is Eztheal bringing you more Path of Exile content, and today we're going to be talking about Evasion and how Evasion works. Um, I've gone ahead and sent a PM to Mark from Grinding Gear Games, and he's very helpfully responded. Most of us tend to believe that Evasion has a very large RNG component to it. Apparently, that is not true. Evasion in PoE is not fully random. So, to start off, each entity in the world of Path of Exile contains this evasion entropy value, and it ranges between 1 and 100. So the higher this value is, the more likely you are to be hit by the next attack. So the initial value for every single character in the game is random, and every time something attacks you, they calculate their chance to hit as a percentage. So that value is added to your evasion entropy, and if the value exceeds 100, then you're hit, and then from that value you subtract 100 is subtracted from that value. If the value has not reached 100, you're not hit. Now keep in mind that with each attack this value is increasing, and once it hits the cap of 100 you will get hit. So um, let's go ahead and do this with some examples. Alright, here we go. So for instance, if you have let's say a random starting evasion entropy value of 32. Let's go ahead and 32, and there's a 50% chance to hit, then let's say you start off with 32 and there's a 50% chance to hit, then this would increase to 82 and it would miss. Now let's say you get hit again, this would increase to 132 and you would get hit because the value has gone ahead and gone over the 100 cap. So once it hits, it would subtract 100 from the 132 and it would go back to being 32. And then the next attack would be again 82 and that would miss. And then the cycle would keep repeating. So if you had a 50% chance to evade, you see it kind of balances out how it would be one attack would hit, and one attack would not hit. One attack would hit and one attack would not hit. Now let's say you had 100% chance to hit and your beginning value was, let's say, 56%, right? That's the beginning evasion entropy value. With 100% chance to hit, 100 is always added to that value. So no matter what, the value will always exceed 100. So you will always be hit. The same can be said for attack values of 0%. Let's say you start off with a 99 evasion entropy value. No matter what, 0% chance to hit would always be less than 100, so you would never be hit. If that makes sense. Okay, now let's go over here and let's talk about the reason that Grinding Gear Games decided to make the mechanic this way is they wanted to remove the possibility of RNG and getting several fail evades. So for instance, they wanted to remove that possibility of getting, of not being able to evade 12 attacks in a row. So each attack has a correct chance to hit, and it will hit as often as you'd expect it to in that average case using that purely random system. But the possibility of occasionally not having this devastating non-average results. So it's not completely random, but a lot of the values is random. It's something you have to go ahead and do in your head over and over. You might have to watch this video twice, but eventually you'll start to understand the component of evasion. So the possibility of monsters that only have 10% chance to hit each of them and being hit 4 times consecutively, that has been eliminated. So, okay, let's talk about some of the other parts of evasion. So, if an attack would crit you, evasion is tested twice. And if you evade, the hit is downgraded to a none crit. It doesn't miss since it already tested for that and it hit you, but it wouldn't be a crit. So the roll is completely random and doesn't increase the entropy value in any way. It just generates that number from 1 to 100 and compares to the chance to hit. Okay? So that would be because how can I explain this? So the reason behind this is because it would always be the next evasion test after the one to see if hit than if it did use the entropy value. Then having 50% chance to evade would make you immune to critical strikes, since you can't fail 2 successful evasion checks on entropy if your chance to hit is below 50%. So if you were hit, that means you just failed the evasion check to evade the attack, and because of that, the entropy is such that the second test would be unable to hit you, and the crit would downgrade. Instead of, it failing to hit in the first place, then critting or not. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is whenever the entropy value is used, um, they wanted to make it so you couldn't abuse the system. So if you were thinking, I can go ahead and get my entropy value to the lowest it can before I fight a boss, so I can have the maximum value of like the maximum number of attacks evaded before they start hitting me. That doesn't work because this evasion entropy value is reset after a certain amount of time. Um, Grinding Gear Games and Mark didn't let me know how much time it was. They don't want you to go ahead and be able to transfer that entropy value between fights. So yeah, guys, it's this evasion mechanic is not fully random. Hopefully you understood a little bit of what I was trying to say. If you have any more questions, then feel free to send me a PM on Skype. Oh, not on Skype. A PM on Path of Exile to Eztheal. You can catch me on Skype. My name there is Eztheal. Also, you can just go ahead and add me, or you can send me a email at eztheal@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you on this. So thanks for watching, and catch you next time, Exiles.